Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it is Sunday, August 7th, and I'm about to make a quick trip to the bee yard for two reasons. First reason, I plan on checking the hives to see how much feed they have. I fed them last Monday, August 1st. Every hive got 1-to-1 sugar water except hive number 3, which is the second purpose of today's visit. So when I was going through the hives last Monday, hive number 3 had about 5 frames that were about halfway capped. So I took 5, I left 5 because they weren't ready to harvest. So that's the second reason for my visit today. Check on hive number 3, get into the medium box and see if the bees have made any progress with those 5 frames. Other beekeepers in the area recently posted that their hives are bringing in nectar and curing it into honey. So I'm hoping by leaving those 5 frames in number 3, they cured it over the last week. And if they did, I'll pull them today and harvest that honey as well. So let's take a quick trip to the bee yard and see what they've been up to. All right, down here at the hive in the number 1 position, which is actually hive number 5, the 19th swarm that Paul caught this year. Helped me rebuild my bee yard while I was away. So like I said, just pop the top, give them some smoke. I'm also gonna peek in the top box and see if see if I can tell if they've used any of the sugar water before I actually check the division board feeder, based off of whether or not we see any new comb. And I honestly don't remember if they had a lot to draw out or not. So let's just get into the bottom box, the real purpose of today's visit. I fooled myself for a second. I usually put the division board feeders on the right side, and it looks like they have used all of the sugar water. Let me grab my flashlight so we can take a better look. All right, got my flashlight, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but that division board feeder is empty. So let's top them off with some feed and close them back up. That's simple today. All right, back with the sugar water, and that top box actually has a nice amount of weight to it, so I imagine they took what I gave them last week and used it. So these are 1 gallon division board feeders. This is a gallon of feed. Makes it pretty simple. There you go. Good to the last drop. All right, over here at hive number 6, which is swarm number 20. So this will be the last one that I really show y'all, mainly because this is the first time I've used one of these top feeders. So I'm really curious to see how that worked and whether or not the bees have drained it. I'm hoping they did, because that means they are just using the provided 1-to-1 sugar water to build out any comb and create food stores. So let's get into number 2 after I give them some smoke and see what they've been up to. All right, so I just went to pop the top like I'm used to with the hive tool, but the very first difference that I've noticed already is the bees are not drawing any propolis around the inner cover because they can't get to it. So just wanted to share that as it's new to me. So let's take off this inner cover, and yeah, sure enough, it looks like they have completely drained the top feeder here. So I may have said it in the last video, I wasn't too sure what to make of these, but honestly, with how easy it is to check on and refill, I'm definitely a fan of them. A little expensive compared to the others. The division board feeders I think run $8 to $10 because of the woodenware this is made out of. I think they cost about 20-25 bucks or so. It's been years since I've looked. The gentleman from Hampstead Honey was nice enough to gift me his equipment because he was relocating out of the area. But yeah, I am a fan of the top feeders. Extremely easy to use, and I think these hold about 2 to 2.5 gallons of feed, which is fantastic. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna knock out the rest of the hives. Like I said in the intro, check on number 3. I'll show you all that here in a second to see if the bees have cured the 5 frames that I left in there that were about halfway capped and filled with nectar. So I'm just going to feed the rest of them, and then we'll see what number 3's up to. All right, I just opened up the 3rd hive. I wasn't really planning on showing you all this, but this is hive number 1, and if you can see down in there or not, hopefully you can. Yeah, so again, good idea to feed because they've used a full gallon of 1-to-1 in the last week. So I'm just going to keep this routine up until the boxes are full and heavy, combs drawn out, and all in the name of winter preparation. All right, down here at the 4th hive. So since I've shown the other 3 so far, may as well show this one. This is hive number 7. And just like the other one, completely empty. So seeing what I'm seeing here just makes me further believe this was a good idea to whip up some sugar water this week and feed them. So again, I'm just gonna keep up a weekly routine of feeding the hives sugar water until the boxes are full, combs nice and drawn out. And again, these top hive feeders make it extremely easy. I'm gonna have to get online and check out a few bee suppliers to see what these sell for these days. They were more expensive than I wanted to pay years ago, so I imagine they probably cost even more now, but they are extremely convenient. All right, just finished feeding the hives, and we are about to get into number 3 here and take a look at the top box, like I've said a few times, and see how they're doing. So number 3's been a bit feisty over the past few inspections, and as you can see, they have a healthy amount of bees. And check this out, they got a little bit of washboarding going on. It's kind of cool to see. All right, let's get into them and see if the 5 or so frames I left in the top box are ready to harvest. All right, here we go. About to get into number 3. Do we have some honey for us? Guess we'll find out here soon. Alright, I remember condensing the frames that were about half drawn into the center. So let's check. Still working that one. Let's set that aside. Same there. Same on both sides. They're still working on it. Nope, not so much. Same with the next one. No, and no. The next one's a little better. So maybe another week. Yeah, actually that one's coming along. So maybe they just need about another week and I can pull them. So overall, not bad. They're doing their thing. They seem to still be bringing in food, even though this time of year typically Flora's horses have stopped blooming and everything, but looks like they're still finding some. All right, that does it for me this week. About an hour out in the yard feeding the hives and checking number 3, which is what y'all just saw me finish up on, and they do not have honey that is ready to harvest. So I'll just check on the hives weekly for the same 2 reasons: to feed the hives that have feeders in, and to check on number 3 until those frames are ready to harvest. So I'm hoping they will be ready next week, because that's about 5 more frames. If they're all full, maybe another 15 pounds of honey. So that'd be kind of cool to harvest what I did in the short time that I've been back this year. But yeah, one final look at the hives. That does it for this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune back in next week to see what I'm up to.